Hello, fellas. Guess what we're doing today? You probably read it in the title of the video. We're taking a look at Alkosh and how to use it in content. What uptimes you should be looking for, ways to help out, with making Alkosh easier. Basically, the idea is I know a lot of you guys just play fucking Stamina Arcanist, and you have Coral Deadly, and you maybe Azure Blade, and that's all you do. You don't do anything else. And then you wonder why you get fucking burnt out on the game. Okay? So hear me out. Papa Temp's gotta fix your issue. You're gonna learn fucking Zenkosh and do something with your life, okay? So we're taking a look at Mr. Zin. It's Zin. I think that's how you say it. He's been popping out trifectas recently, and he always puts out a video for it. Today, we're looking at a 245,000 score Dawnbringer, which is actually really fucking high. 245 is pretty good. He was doing Zen Kosh, so what that means is he was in Zen's from Laird Marshlock and Roar of Alkosh. And he's DK. He's just doing those two things. The Zen part, we're not gonna worry about that for today. We'll do that some other time. But for today, we're just focused on Alkosh and how to, properly use it. Because I don't know, I feel like a lot of people just see Zen Kosh on trial rosters and they just get intimidated and don't want to do it. Okay, so let's talk about what Alkosh is, right? So the way it works is it's gonna give the team penetration, and it's a debuff. The way the debuff gets applied is when you use a synergy in combat, you will roar a lion, like a lion. You're gonna roar like a lion, and the roar is just like a conal or something just in front of you. And it actually goes quite a long distance. Like if you're thinking in terms of Rockgrove, right? Rockgrove is the metric system. If you are the main tank on Oaks, you can proc the Alkosh roar with a synergy, and your roar will go through Oaks to the mini. You'll hit both. It's about that long, so pretty big. It's big AOE. So basically, as long as you're looking at the thing that you're attacking, which you 100% should be, uh, you know, the roar is gonna go in the right place, and it's gonna hit everything in the roar as well. Everything that's in there gets pen. And then the max value of pen as well is like 6k, because as a DD, your weapon and spell damage should reach that far. So 100%, if you've got Alkosh on a DD, you're gonna be reaching 6k pen with the debuff always. If you're a tank, you can get to 6k, but most of the time you'll sit around like 5,000 to 5,500. We usually don't put Alkosh on a tank for like 99% of groups. So usually it's a DD. So we're gonna watch Mr. Zin do this. We're gonna watch him proc Alkosh successfully, and give the team debuffs while also doing damage. Now I will say, um, as a Zenkosh, the sets don't really affect you, like in terms of DDing. DK, whether it's Parse DK or Zenkosh, is still gonna play the same pretty much. The only difference is probably going to be the skill. Let's wait till he gets on his back bar. Or well, no, you can see it. It's right here. Engulfing Flames. Um, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. The meta DD shit for DK, but I know that Engulfing Flames is a pretty weak skill, but the reason why Zendikes use it is to get another dot for Zens. And it's also flame damage debuff that boosts group DPS, and it's just makes sense for the DKDD to run engulfing most of the time. That's like the only difference between Parse DK and Zen DK. It's just adding engulfing into your stuff. You're playing it the same. The only added thing is that you're going to be pressing synergies on a cooldown, or not even on a cooldown, honestly. Alkosh doesn't have a cooldown, right? So technically, you could just spam synergies and keep roaring all the time. And your Alkosh debuff, I can't remember, but let's say 10 seconds. Let's say roughly like 11 to 10 seconds. Every time you press the synergy, it's going to give you a 10-second timer on Alkosh. But it doesn't have a cooldown, right? So his Alkosh tracker is in a really shitty spot. Not gonna lie, I would put it somewhere else. But you can see here, um, he's got like this bar and then like this red line towards the end of the timer, right? So it's taken. It's he just refreshed it, so the timer went back up, right? You can refresh Alkosh early, but the red line is sort of there to indicate like, okay, once you get past this line on the timer, you should probably start looking for a fucking synergy to press, or you're gonna lose the Alkosh uptime. The idea would be you can reach like 99% Alkosh uptime as long as you have the synergies to support it. So if you're going into a group and all of the rune breaks, all of the boneyards, all of the harvests, all of the, whatever is just getting taken from you by the other shitter DDs, then, you're going to run out of synergies and you're not going to have anything to press. This is a real issue, for bad groups. Well, okay, let's not say bad. Let's just say not well optimized groups, because in higher tier content, a lot of the times the DDs are going to have synergy toggle add-ons where they can block synergies entirely. Like you'll just never see unnerving boneyard synergies as long as you have it turned off. But in other groups, like more casual stuff, you're not going to see that too often. Most of those people, they're not going to have those add-ons. And even hell, even in end game raids, half the time you've got some shitter fucking taking all the synergies because he's weird and doesn't like add-ons. So definitely something to look out for. If you're gonna be using Alkosh in your group comp, like whether it be for a trifecta or a score push or whatever, make sure that your DK has enough synergies when he needs them that are placed near him to keep the debuff up, right? One common thing that people do is like obviously you'll have a crow that's going to give boneyard. You'll have a warden healer that's going to give you budding seeds, the harvest synergy. You'll have rune breaks from all of the Arcanist DDs. You'll have the Sorks, or the Sork will have the Major Berserk Atro. I'm trying to think. The Templar here. So here's one thing: most groups these days just kind of choose not to have a Templar, but as you go into higher tier content, like higher like skill level groups, you will start to see like everyone wanting a Templar. And it's, for one, they make executes go a lot fucking faster. They do hell of an execute damage. But also, they bring the Purify synergy, which can't be stolen by other DDs. It goes to 6 people at a time. So, very good chance that your DK is going to get a hold of that and nobody else is going to steal it. Now, the other thing that we didn't mention is you are going to be getting orbs as well. Everybody can use orb. It's not like a thing that can get stolen from you. So you're always at least going to have sorry, you're always at least going to have orb, the healing combustion synergy. So at the very least, if you're just spamming synergies as they come up, with orb alone, you're probably going to get, like a fucking, I don't know, 30%, 30 to 40% uptime. It's going to be pretty bad, but that's where the other synergies come in play, right? So let's go ahead and start at the beginning of the fight, just to watch his uptime the entire time. And then we'll see exactly like what synergies he's pressing and if he has them available. So he's going to go into the fight. He pressed that healing combustion within the first, you can't read that because I know I can't read that, but I know that says like 2 seconds. It's going to be like the first 1, 2, or 3 seconds of the fight. He's going to press that healing combustion. Your healers, should already have stuff placed down, like their hots and stuff, depending on the boss. Obviously, like let's say for Yondir, right? Um, your warden healer can have budding seeds already placed down when the fight starts. Your Templar, no, disregard that. So the budding seeds and then the orbs, those can already just be thrown out there, and it's not going to pull the boss. So there's no reason for your healers not to already have that there, so the Alkosh can get procced immediately on the boss. If you don't have synergies right off the bat, your guys' opening for bosses is going to be shit, right? Because you're not going to have all that pen from Alkosh. Um, like think about it. Your Sork is dropping Atro, and all the DDs are dropping their Languidize here, and all your ultis. Think about what happens if you don't have pen in your opening. Then all of those ultis essentially get wasted in a way. So definitely, tell your healers. Good lord, tell your healers to have budding seeds already pre-placed, um, and then have orbs already going out. That way, your DK is just ready to go, ready to pop that synergy. Like I said, he had a healing combustion already ready to go at the beginning of the fight, and he procced it within the first second or two. So that was great. That's how it should be. So we keep watching. See, look at this is where his synergies pop up. I know for PC players, your keybind is probably X. This is controller UI. He's using this is a PlayStation controller. No, it's not. I fucking lied to you just now. This is an Xbox controller, my bad. Yeah, so Purify, and then we'll go back like a second. Okay, sorry, that was 5 things. Here's the Healing Combustion. Here's Rune Break, Harvest, Boneyard. We just saw Purify. He's got a lot in the opening, but you don't want to just spam synergies. That's the thing about Alkosh. If you just sit there and spam synergies, you're not gonna have them when you need them, right? Like, sure, you could continuously just spam all of these synergies and keep proccing Alkosh, but at a certain point, you need time for them to like refresh and shit like that, right? It just doesn't make sense to proc them early. Now, I will say, if you can proc them early, like the more Alkosh procs you get, the more damage you will do. And the reason for that is, you remember we talked about when you press the synergy, you roar. The roar actually does damage, and it's AoE damage. Like we talked about, multiple things can get the debuff. So the roar is AoE damage. It's actually not terrible, like in terms of just like raw damage output from the roar. So technically, the more synergies you press, the more damage you're going to be doing, which is a good thing. That's for, just for pressing synergies, you get more damage. But also, just be careful, right? Don't just go spamming synergies because you want more damage, and don't just spam synergies because you're trying to keep up Alkosh. Play safe with it. Get 100% Alkosh uptime, and then you can start hitting more synergies and play around with it depending on the timing. Okay, so here's his timer. Let's go and watch it. He pressed another one that was Purify. So we haven't lost uptime yet. He has not let it get to 0. Like I said before, Alkosh does not have a cooldown. You don't have to wait until the very end and then proc a synergy. You can proc it early. So definitely do that if you're doing Zenkosh. Don't let it drop off. Refresh it a little early, like a couple seconds early. Like about 4 seconds is when you need to start looking for a synergy and be like, oh ho ho, I'm ready to press the button. He's getting ready to run out, but he pressed one. I don't even know what he pressed, but it was there. Okay, it's going down. He's getting pretty close to low, but look, he's got synergies ready to go, so he just needs to press the button. Bam, there it is. He didn't lose any uptime. Fantastic. That's good. Now, things like this Harpy Totem is behind him. The boss is in front of him. Let's talk about like priority targeting, right? What do you really want Alkosh on? Okay, so in Yondir, for example, the only thing that you would really want Alkosh on would be Yondir himself. If you're in a good enough group, nothing else matters. But technically, you would prefer to get Alkosh on like, the beginning mage would be nice. The Sea Adder would be nice, but totems, don't worry about putting Alkosh on them. Technically, you could like turn around, proc a synergy, and then turn back around and keep procking synergies on Yondir. But there's no point in doing that, right? That's a waste of your synergies. That might fuck up your uptime on the boss, and well, especially for like harpy totems, that's not worth it. Wouldn't worry about it, you know. Don't go out of your way to put shit on or Alkosh on stuff that doesn't need it. But if it's in cleave though, feel free. Like, hear me out. If he's looking this way, and there's like, you know, a sea adder over here, all he's got to do is rotate around until he makes that cone hitting both. You know, if you can hit it with Alkosh and also keep it up on the main boss, do that. It's the same concept as like I do Alkosh on main tank for Oaks, like I said earlier. Like all you have to do is aim through Oaks at the mini, and then bam, there you go. I'm hitting both with Alkosh. If I just look at Oaks and never look at the mini, then the mini's just never gonna get Alkosh, and that's awful. We hate that. It's getting low. It went past the line. Oh, he refreshed it. I don't even know what he pressed. What did he press? Let's go back. Purify? He had Purify ready? Probably pop. Yeah, he popped that. Okay. It's going down. Oh, there it is. What did he press? Do, do, do. He had a healing combustion ready to go. Is that what he pressed though? Yeah. Okay, it was. Got Rune Break ready. He popped that. Grave Robber. It went away. Now here's something else too. So Yondir was in the air right there. Hear me out, right? When Yondir is in the air, you cannot proc Alkosh on him, as far as I'm aware. Right? So he's gonna start leaping right here. So if he presses a synergy at this very moment, you're not gonna be putting Alkosh on Yondir, as far as I understand it. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. Like, use synergies at opportune times. Like, I know this guy, I don't think he did it, but like right before he's about to jump would be a really good time to proc Alkosh on him instead of letting it drop off as he jumps, right? Because then, you know, if you refresh it right before, then, you know, he's going to have the debuff still when he comes back down. And then you can refresh it here. Like, you know, he's got a harvest ready to go. Plan around mechanics. Like, you know, if you know that a boss is going to be jumping, then, you know, maybe try to put Alkosh on it right before it leaves or something like that. You know, go for the biggest uptime of Alkosh pen as you can get without, you know, throwing away synergies. Harvest, press the button, press the button, press the button. Oh my god! No, guys, no, he fucked up and he had synergies ready and everything. Oh my god, he just wasn't paying attention because there's meteors out. No. You can block cast and cast synergies at the same time. Oh, that's another thing. You can block cast and cast synergies at the same time. So, you know, don't be afraid of meteors. If you've got meteors and you're doing fucking Yondir, you can still press synergies, you know, just block and then cast a synergy while you're doing all that. It's probably quite a few button presses there, but, you know, you can do it all at the same time. I trust. I believe. Okay. Thank God it wasn't that big of an uptime or downtime. He's going to get ready to jump again soon. Re-upped it again before he jumped. So since he re-upped it before he jumped, now he's gonna have that debuff when he comes down. Yep. Refresh it. Purify synergy. Cool. Huge. Now hear me out. Can I give you a little tip here? When a boss is about to die and you have a ton of synergies left, just spam the fuck out of those. Right? Like, why not? Right? Because you remember how we talked about earlier, the more synergies you press, the more damage you do, because each individual synergy is its own roar that does damage. So if you're at like the fucking ass end of a fight, you're at the last like 20%, or not 20%, sorry, the last 20 seconds of a fight, just fucking spam synergies. You'll have Alkosh up for the rest of the fight, and you're going to be doing more damage, right? So that's a funny trick you can do on Zenkosh. Yeah, so thank you for watching about Alkosh. Hopefully you guys get off your lazy Arcanist asses and go make a fucking Zenkosh DK. Let me know how it works out. If you got any other Alkosh Zen DK Zenkosh tips, comment them. I'm sure there's at least one funny thing that I missed about it, so let me know.